take a few minutes and show you how to take a base model EcoBoost and with a few simple mods make it distinct and make it your own. Okay, our project car for this is going to be Chaz's 2019 EcoBoost with the Pony package. First thing you wanted to do is take off the black stripes that you saw in the first couple of photos. Dealer installed. Nothing special to this, just his fingernails. Don't need any tools or heat guns or anything like that. Very low residue on the stickers that they put on, so you don't have to worry about getting too crazy with the cleanup afterwards. You can see if you take a little bit of time, they come in 3 sections, but with a little bit of patience and some proper pressure, they do come off almost intact. And you can see I'm working on that there. We shot this in real time just to give you a feel for how easy this really is and the fact that you don't need any of those tools that we mentioned. There's 3 sections to it. There's the main section on the door that he's working on here, and then there's also a smaller section on the rocker panels in front and behind. They came off almost intact. You'll see here he's just got a couple little pieces where the sticker tore. And again, just using his fingernails to get them started and pulling them right off. A little bit of residue, you can see him looking at it. As I said, we did shoot this in real time. He does spend just about another minute, and we'll give you a little musical interlude to get you through that if you want to see it, or you can fast forward to about the 3:30 mark. And as you can see, that's pretty much it. We've already removed the rear lip spoiler that was again factory installed. You've probably seen them. They're about 2 millimeters high. Pretty simple to do. We'll cover the install on the new spoiler a little bit later. He went with the MMD series from American Muscle. Gives it a much more aggressive look. It's just 4 bolts if you have the factory spoiler already on, and you do have to remove the trim panel, and we'll show you that a little bit later in the video. The hardest part really, taking off the trim panel is no problem, but once you get it off, you can see we've got Chaz and his girlfriend Georgianne working on the glue left behind. Unlike the stripes on the doors, this does have a tremendous amount, and we'll get you a close-up here. There's no easy way to do it. You can see Georgianne working on just trying to roll it in a single piece. Not too much luck with that, and it tears. And again, it's a tedious, time-consuming. There's several videos out there on YouTube showing this process. Everybody complains your fingertips get sore from trying to rub off the glue, but maybe if you're a body man and you have access to it, or you know where to pick one up, there's a tool called a magic wheel that body shops use to remove glue from trim panels. We didn't have one, so I don't know if that works, but that might make your job a lot easier. And we're going to give you a quick time lapse just to give you a feel of just how long this process took. So I'll put a little music in for you and let you watch the process. This one is kind of short. It's only going to be about 20 seconds to musically indulge yourself. Okay, time-lapse continues here. You see Chaz coming back. Georgianne got tired and went home. This is actually the next day after the two of us and Georgianne spending about 2, maybe 3 hours on the previous day trying to get that glue off. Got it pretty well covered down to the root of it, but there's still something that wasn't quite right. So we're hitting it with a citrus-based cleaner just to get it completely smooth and ready for the install of the new spoiler with the 3M tape. You can see both of us working on it. This probably took us, as you can see, it's time lapse, so this process was probably another hour or so, just getting it completely clean. And I've got to confess, got a little frustrated with even the citrus cleaner and its progress. You'll see Chaz, he gives it a pretty good soaking, and we let that sit for a few minutes and kind of penetrate and break down some of the last little bit of glue that you can just see the outline there. So maybe start with letting it soak. We didn't really go that route, but first time doing it, so you learn as you go, I guess. Learn from our mistakes, and you'll see that once we soak it a little bit and let it sit, that the process goes much quicker. Okay, finally clean and ready for the spoiler install. We'll give you a quick walk around. You can see the difference with the spoiler gone and the black stripe on the sides also removed at this point. So stripped down to its bare essence, I guess you'd say, and ready for the next phase of the making it your own. And we're moving into the garage now. You can see the spoiler being prepped there by Chaz. Just taking an alcohol wipe that was provided with the kit and prep it around the bolt holes. They did come with a set of rubber grommets just to keep all the water out of the trunk and keep it pristine. So I want to make sure those attach firmly, and as you can see, he prepped it with the alcohol patch, and now I'm adding the rubber grommets. They do have an adhesive side to them, which is why you obviously want to prep it with the alcohol wipe. And again, there's 4 of them, and you'll also see that the length of the spoiler is also got a 3M tape on it to help it attach besides the 4 bolt holes. We did have a little bit of an issue with the 3M tape overlapping with the bolt holes, so you'll see me here pulling the 3M tape up just so I can get the rubber grommets seated directly over the bolt holes for a good fit. And you can see there, just had to kind of pry it out from underneath it a little bit. The only downside to this is when you do get ready to put it on the trunk lid, it does make it a little bit more difficult. Definitely recommend having 2 people and that extra set of hands to keep one guy from holding it up so the 3M tape isn't getting stuck while you're trying to line up the bolts. Okay, we'll give you a quick little zoom in. Here you can see the 3M tape in the light gray, and then also the 4 grommets that are covering the bolt holes. So you've got 2 in the center and 2 on the ends. The 2 center ones are what require the removal of the trim inside the trunk lid. Again, right here, just prepping the trunk lid around the bolt holes so that there's a good adhesion. And you can see we've got, Chaz is holding the spoiler. You do have to get a long-nosed screwdriver because the bolts go through the bottom, and then it's about 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches through the trunk lid up to get it on the spoiler. Again, this is just screw-on bolts, so it's not very exciting. Quick time lapse for you. You can see the 2 in the center are a little bit hard, and now we're ready to put the trim piece back in. Again, not too hard. It's got 2 finger screws. You'll see me and Chaz working on those here shortly. They just screw in finger tight, and then there's also about 6 more push pins. Do recommend that you use a trim panel removal tool just to protect your push pins. That way you don't snap them off or damage them when you're taking them in. To put them back in, it's just what they say. It's a push pin, so you just push them back into the original hole, and that works out pretty good. Okay, and now you can see Chaz getting ready to push the trunk latch cover back in place. No push pins, no screws or anything. It snaps into place pretty much with just a little pinch. You do want to make sure that gets seated properly, because it can rub and damage the paint. If it's not seated correctly, it'll cause a little bit of a rub. And then closing the trunk down, and we'll show you a quick look. This is me just being stupid. Obviously the bolts are tight, so pushing down probably isn't doing anything as far as getting the tape to seal. If me pushing it down, that means the bolts aren't tight enough, but sometimes you do what you do. Seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Okay, so here's the finished look at the spoiler install. Got the trim level, or trim in the trunk back in, and I got to tell you, that looks night and day difference. So much better. It was so nice. I told Chaz I was going to get one for my 2017, and he told me I couldn't copy them, and I certainly understand that, because after all, this is about making the car your own, so you don't want to see the car next to you with the exact same thing. Just I can't emphasize enough how much it changes the look of the car. He added some custom stripes after that, and then also put on a custom exhaust. Painted from American Muscle was $450. The custom stripes at a local shop here in Houston, Redline, was approximately $500, and then the exhaust also from American Muscle ring in at $550. So all in about $1,500, and you can see the results here. This is Delilah, Chaz's 2019 EcoBoost that he fixed up on his own. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for the support, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks.